Hey guys, my name's Crystal Kenny, and I'm in love with creating. All things artistic and imagination involved. I'm an American girl who chased her creative dreams all the way to Paris, France, making a living using photography. This podcast takes you inside the stories of all the artsy folks I've met along the way and gives you that extra push to discover your creative gifts. The desire to create is deeply inside each and every one of us, and I give you the tools and inspiration to find a new way of living a more creative life. This is La Vie Creative, the podcast. My guest today is originally from Ireland, but when she arrived to Paris, she decided to start a career in theater. Before that, she was studying dance, ballet, Irish dancing, American tap, all that you can think of. Today, we talk about her theater performances in Paris and what it's like to be a full-time artist. Please welcome to the show, Mia Leahy. So welcome to the show, Mia. I'm so happy to have you here.
And I'm really happy to be here. Thank you.
I was reading your bio. You have done all the things from an early age. You were dancing, ballet, Irish dancing, which is very cool, by the way, American tap, singing music. I just saw you perform with the Shakespeare troupe doing Romeo and Juliet. I mean, you are amazing. How long have you been performing now?
Oh my goodness. So apart from things, at home and school concerts and all of those things, and a little foray into acting. When I first went to university in Cork, I joined the Drama Society, and we did a couple of hopeless things. We did Romeo and Juliet, actually, but in very shortened form. And
Yeah.
it was great fun to do, but it wasn't a great success.
Mm-hmm.
And we did a little known Lorca play called The Love of Don Prelimplin and Belisa in the Garden, and it was that set me on fire, really, because before that I'd always wanted to be a dancer, but we lived sort of remote. We lived in the middle of nowhere, and I didn't get any lessons in ballet till I was 12, but Irish dancing, yes, before that, which I adored. And then, ballet was my dream. But, 12 is late, and then we moved again. And so, it wasn't possible. But I kept classes up for 18 years.
That's crazy with the dancing.
Yeah.
Ballet.
Dancing ballet, yeah. And then I was doing American tap right up till a year before COVID happened. I was doing American tap with this great guy called Victor Cuno in near the Bastille. He's absolutely amazing. Yeah, so tap makes you happy.
Yeah. I love that tap makes you happy. And it sounds like your family was supportive of you doing theater and doing dance. Like, were they thinking, oh, she'll do this as a job, or was it just kind of a hobby thing to keep the kid busy?
No, not really. No, they were much more, you have to go to school and university, and theatre isn't a way of life and a job, and you have to, study and get a degree, and then you can try and do something. So no, they were never really that pro, even though my father was an amateur actor. He was really good. He was a comedian. He was terribly funny. He was also a photographer. So, and both sides of the family, there was music, professional music in both sides of the family. So it was odd that that the thoughts of that really frightened them.
Well, maybe because they struggled. I mean, I feel like our parents, when they struggle, they're like, we don't want you to struggle, go be a doctor or whatever.
Yeah, something like that, and especially in their generation, the time they grew up in rural Ireland. I mean, it was, get a proper job, really.
Yeah, no time for playing, don't do your playful little dance
no playing.
thing.
And that's just what I wanted to do from the moment I could play.
I love that. So did you ever kind of shy away from trying to make this a full-time career, or did you go to school for business and be like, okay, I'll be a dentist and then I'll tap on the side or something?
Well, when I went to Cork University, so I was quite young. I was just before I was 18. I was sort of coming up to 18 years old. And I knew I had to do something. I knew I had to go to university and do something. So I chose English, Latin, and Greek and Roman history.
Oh, wow.
which was a joke, a total joke. I lasted a year. I mean, I love the Greek and Roman history. I adore the Greeks. And then I left because I tried drama society and I just thought, no, I have to go and try. I really have to try and
Yeah.
go to a country where nobody knows me and see if I have any talent.
I love that. Go to a country where nobody knows me.
So I ran away to London with £5 in my pocket and
Ah.
and loads of addresses of squats and things and hippies and artists and all kinds of things. So and that's where it sort of really started.
So you were, a Greek history dropout who ran away to London penniless.
Yes.
And so how did that work out? I mean, did you do some artistic things in London? I mean, London, was it cheaper back then or was it still as expensive as it is today?
Oh no, it was much, much cheaper. I mean, it was still probably hugely expensive compared to people's wage packets. But I did.
I lost you. Are you there?
Am I back?
Hello?
Hello?
Oh, there you are. Okay.
Okay. Yeah, sorry about that. I don't know what happened there.
Yeah, no worries.
Learn more, but I haven't got time.
Yeah, so you were saying London was cheaper back then.
Yeah, and we did things like one of my friends, Jonathan, he had a Mohican punk, and I had got a present of Victorian shoe shine brushes and a top hat box for my 20th birthday, I think. And we got a license to shoe shine in Covent Garden, where all the mime and I don't know if you know London that well, but Covent Garden, you have loads of street performers and stuff. So we did shoe shine and we were terrible at it.
This is so fun.
And then, we did the usual work in wine bars and, work in pubs, work anywhere, I did everything, cleaning, the whole lot. And then I found through friends, everything is always, which I think is really important, through the community and through friends. But I found this place called the Actors Institute. I don't know if you know it. It's an American-based place. And I did a couple of classes in improv and stuff like that. And that fired me up even more. So I just then applied to drama school.
I love it. So you eventually found your way into a drama school.
Yeah. So the one that caught my eye was in the Barbican, the Guildhall School of Music and Drama. And I happened to know the man who was directing it, Tony Church, who was a great Shakespearean actor. I met his son by accident and he said, oh yeah, why didn't you apply there? And I did, and his dad didn't know that I knew his son. I mean, it wasn't nepotism, though I wouldn't have minded if it were.
Yeah, a little help never is a problem, right?
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
And so I heard that when you go to drama school, it's basically like the military for your brain and ego. Like they just break you down so that you can build your character. Is that true?
I think it depends. I really think it depends on where you go. And I think Guildhall has a great reputation for producing actors who can work with anybody and who can sort of do, not for producing the stars. That's more RADA. And I think Central has the reputation for producing big personalities and stuff, whereas Guildhall, just good, steady sort of actors is, I don't know if that's a sort of bringing it to a ploddy kind of status, but it was really hard. I've never worked so hard in my life. And things like you're there half an hour before class starts, you're there half an hour before rehearsals. If you're later than half an hour, anything after half an hour, you're too late. And you had to be ready and prepared. And we did everything. We did 2 hours of voice every morning with Patsy Rodenburg. She was just amazing. And we had movement classes, dance classes, fight classes, all kinds of dancing. And we didn't actually attack a text until the end of the first year. We did a very small, we did some of the mystery plays, but before that we didn't do anything to do with it. It was all sort of technique and getting yourself neutral rather than breaking you down. I think we learned how to move neutrally, how to stop any habits and stuff that you had that were sort of impeding that could
Yeah.
impede any study for a character, so it was great. So we got to be neutral
Do you
physically.
find that you kind of discover yourself through that school? Because maybe we don't know we walk a certain way or we talk a certain way or we think a certain way. Does that kind of help you discover your personality and who you are?
Yeah, it does, because also you have the sort of regard of other people, the look rather,
Mhm.
the other people looking at you and telling you this is how you come across,
Yeah.
and
And was that painful or like, because you're so young and vulnerable and it's like someone's telling me I'm like acting this way and I didn't know that?
yeah, it's kind of cringe making.
Yeah, it would
And
be uncomfortable.
it can be, and you feel very vulnerable. But I never had the feeling that we were being broken down. I did have the feeling we were being given, gifts. And I remember Patsy saying, there's out of all the times you're going to perform, there's probably one or two when you really feel that you got it, that you were
Mm,
transported by that passion, and the rest of the
yeah.
time, it doesn't matter what you feel.
Oh, you got
It
another
matters
pop up.
what the oh have you it doesn't matter what you feel, it matters what the audience feel. And
Yeah,
so
yeah.
what you have to have for the rest of those, if you're in a long run, even a short run of 3 months, every single night you're going to have to, you can't expect to really feel something. You have to have all the other things ready, your body, your voice, your breath,
Mhm,
and that'll help. And when you don't really really feel it, but the audience will, because you're doing, you're relying on all those techniques, and you might get there, you
mhm.
might actually transport yourself, but that's what it needs. You can't hope that emotionally you're going to be able to support a character every night unless you have all the other techniques behind you.
Can you feel the energy from the audience when you're performing? Like, can you feel like, oh, they're calling BS, my character's not believable? Because even when we don't know somebody at all, we can tell when they're BSing, but basically acting is BSing. So, like, how do you do that?
um, well, I think because there's got to be a truth in it. That's the other thing that you search for. There's got to be a truth somewhere, you know.
Yeah.
And again, so it can't just be technique, because that's empty, but there has to be a truth for you, and you might not achieve where you want to be for that character for every single performance, but you got to try. And I think,
Yeah.
of course, the audience actually carries you.
Yeah.
I mean, you get feedback, you get immediate feedback from the audience, and it's sort of from your sixth sense. I think you get this. You get it almost, because it makes you even more in the moment with the feedback from the audience, and you're
Yeah.
you're so in the moment that you're transported, and you don't even have to, that you're doing the right thing.
Yeah. You just kind of fully get into that flow, like we say with any creative endeavor, you're in your flow state. You're
Yeah,
just like,
exactly. You're in the
you're
zone,
off.
and we don't always
Yeah.
get into the zone, but an audience, yes, is really helpful for that.
And do you ever feel like, was there any character that you played that fully took over your psyche and you were that person? Like, was there anything that you ever felt like that?
Um, no, but what I've felt is, the last time this happened to me was in Poland about 4 years ago, and it was a one-woman show by Jennifer Johnston. It's not actually written as a one-woman show, but I did it as that.
Hmm.
And for one of the performances, they were all good, but for one of them, I don't mean that they were all good, but
Hmm. Yeah.
they were all sort of well received. And for one of them, as soon as I heard the music, time stopped.
Wow.
It completely stopped, and I didn't know anything until the end. And
You
that
just,
is just the most amazing feeling.
that
But
is the most amazing feeling. You're just fully in it for the whole show.
yeah, and I think, I think you do take the work home when you're working on a character, and you do get ideas and stuff. But I think you have to step back from it, and I think I don't think it's a great idea to not knock off. It is a job, and work is work, and I think I don't believe in playing the character outside of the play, because then that's not playing anymore, and it's not acting. It's something different. I don't know what that is. So I don't really do that. And I think, you can be a character doesn't. I mean, it has never taken me over, but it's consumed my thoughts. How can I make it better? Or what really, why doesn't it work? This bit doesn't work. And, but I've never woken up, shouting the lines of Lady Macbeth.
Well, that's a good thing, I think.
I think it is.
I mean, you don't lose yourself completely. Like you said, you're playing, you're having fun, and it's also a job.
Yeah. It's also a job, yeah. And I mean, the great thing about it is when you're playing with other people, because I think it brings out the best in you. You have to be it's all your best lives have to be there for the other people as well that you're playing with.
And the energy, you're making like a transaction,
Exactly. It's a transaction and a listening and an accepting. Exactly. It's exactly that.
And let's talk about you arriving to Paris. So you're in London being a hippie, doing stuff, doing silly stuff in the square, trying to make some money. And then all of a sudden you're in Paris. So how'd that happen?
Well, so yeah, the shoe shine stuff was before I went to drama school. I also did life modeling as well, quite a lot for money. I just remember.
Very cool. Does that mean you're naked all the time? People draw you?
Yeah. So that was great fun. And I worked.
So you must be comfortable with your body then.
Because it was that they were all so excited about the light and the colors that it was very hard to be self-conscious about, because they didn't see the body the way we see it, looking for faults. They just saw it for like, oh, that angle and that thing and hold that, and
Yeah. It's the same way with me for photography. I'm like, the light.
Yeah, that's it. And it's sort of go, yeah, please don't move the light. Oh my God, that's so beautiful. And you think, oh, me, is it me that's beautiful?
Yeah,
no, it's the light that's beautiful.
That's so fun though. So you did the life modeling.
I did it for the year before I went to drama school. I did it for a whole year at the Slade, because I used to do bits and bobs, and it was, because it was quite well paid at the time. And so I spent a year at the Slade, and then when I left drama school, immediately when I left drama school, I became a lifeguard just to have some time away from the intensity of everything. So I was a lifeguard for about 6 months, and then I started trying to get work and an agent and all that kind of stuff. And then I sort of worked fairly regularly. I mean, not all the time. It was, it's a sort of up and down thing. And I had a fantastic agent he was amazing. He was the same age as me, and he was just so good. And I still got a lot of theatre work on my own, and he was trying to sort of break me into telly, and I didn't really get it, and then I got a bit sort of despondent with that. So I thought, I need to do something else. I need to be curious, not to drop it, but I need to do something else as well. So I decided to go back to university and finish a degree. So I decided to do a French degree at Goldsmiths University. And that was kind of fun because I didn't really speak French.
Wow.
So I gave myself a really hard job. But in the end, I mean, it was just fabulous. So that was 4 years, 1 year in Paris. And at the Paris 3, the Sorbonne Nouvelle. And I also worked a little bit. And then when I finished my degree, I realized I'd fallen in love with Paris and I really wanted to come back. So I came back without thinking much about what I was going to do or anything. I just thought the best thing is to get there. And because if I overthink it, I might not go.
That's so true. And so many people do that. I mean, I talk to people all the time. They're like, I want to move to Paris, but I have a stable job here. And what will I do? And I don't speak French. And just like you said, you show up and things kind of fall together.
Yeah. And, or and they might not fall together all at once, but then they do. And again, for me, the really important thing was friends and that support. And my family did support me. They always supported me. financially when times were really hard. And in the beginning, I
Yeah.
didn't want to ask, because I felt like
Yeah.
the big failure of the family.
Yeah. Yeah. Of course.
Like everybody else seemed to, there's in the family, there's scientists and, you know, two
The real job.
scientists and real jobs. And so but then I don't regret a single moment. And it was everything, I wanted to learn French. I wanted to speak fluent French, and I
Yeah.
wanted to act in French, and I
Mhm.
did. And so I'm really, really happy with that. And when I first moved, I thought, oh, I've left acting behind now,
Yeah.
because I have to get a proper job or get a job at least. And I think I did what all of us did when we first arrived. I got a job teaching English.
Yeah, we all do that. And also the fact that you acted in French, I'm like blown away that you were able to do that. That's huge to speak French and do acting.
It took, actually, I had 6 of my friends from England come and see the show. It was the November before lockdown at
Oh,
the
wow.
Théâtre de l'Opprimé. And so these 6 friends came. None of them spoke French.
Oh, that's so sweet.
And afterwards they said, it was the best compliment I've ever had. Afterwards they said, "Oh, we felt like we could all speak French when we saw
I
it."
love that. Because they understood you because of the way you were acting.
And they felt like they understood everything. And
Yeah.
that was fab. I mean, it was really hard work, Crystal. It was really hard work.
Oh, that's what I'm saying. I'm in awe. I mean, I've been here like 10 years now and I could never do like I feel like my French will never be where it needs to be, let alone acting in French.
No, it will. Of course, it will.
That's
Just
so
it
cool
take
though.
everything. It's not. Is the word lateral? It's not
Uh-huh.
lateral or
Yeah.
linear. It's not lateral the way we learn. It sort of goes in plateaus, and then
Yeah.
suddenly from somewhere you seem to have a whole new sort of thing of vocabulary.
Yeah, it's
I
like,
know
where do
thing
these
isn't a
words
word.
come from? Yeah, like, where are these words coming from?
A whole new sort of bag of vocabulary, and a whole new way of expressing yourself. And I think that's the way it works.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And I want to talk a little bit about all your side hustles. I mean, as creatives, I think many times we have side hustles, and it's normal. But when you're living in it, are you always kind of thinking like, oh my God, when am I going to make money full time at this job? Or am I always going to have to side hustle? Do you feel bad about side hustles? Like, how do you feel about side hustles?
Well, I think when you do something like when we did Romeo and Juliet, I think, oh yeah, side hustling, love you.
Yeah.
It's worth it. I love you, side hustling. And then the
Yeah.
sort of reality sets in. But I was really lucky because about 11 years ago, I met this woman on the ELT scene who had sort of published a few books on business English and stuff. And she was passionate about theatre, absolutely
Mm,
passionate about it. And she had started to learn French by going to a little theatre group in Paris
yeah.
and to sort of try and learn French that way. So she thought, why not start a school like that, but in English. So,
Hmm.
and she had already been doing it for a year with a few students, and it was really successful. And then we met, and she said, I'd really like to do small kids and
Mm.
develop it a bit more, so would you be interested? So I said yes. And then at the same time, because she had published books, Pearson someone who had worked for Pearson in her marketing asked if we could do something for schools, if we could write something or put something together for schools. And since that time, that was 2009, I think,
Hmm.
she wrote the shows. Her name is Tanya Trapp. She wrote all the shows. I wrote a couple of sentences. And
Yeah.
she mostly wrote the shows, but we did one on Shakespeare, on Oscar Wilde, and on Jane Austen. And so we toured them in all the cities in Poland twice a year.
Fun.
and also in Italy, and once in Dubai. But that was uh,
Wow.
not really my favorite place. But so
Yeah.
we did that, and it was quite well paid, and
Yeah.
that it was regular work, and at the same time we were doing the teaching theatre in English, which was really inspiring.
Mm-hmm.
And it sort of feeds back into the creative well, doesn't it? When
Yeah.
you're sort of doing something that you like, and then you're finding stuff out from teaching, I think is really important.
Yeah,
And
exactly. I mean, you're giving
so
back and you're making
yeah,
money.
but then and then Tanya would hustle. I mean, she'd hustle to get us work in schools, and doing little atelier in schools, and
Mm-hmm.
or big atelier in
Yeah.
in schools and college and universities. I mean, we did the Polytechnic X for about 6 or 7 years, I think, twice a year as
Wow.
well. So we would do workshops and perform. And so there was that kind of hustling as well. But I think the other hustling that we kind of dread is the one where you have to do sort of not your favorite kind of work, really.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, if there's a way to find a side hustle that relates to your passion,
Yeah, then it's
then
really great. And when
yeah,
I
then
spent
it's
2 years working in a creche for 3 hours every morning from
you,
Monday to Friday, and honestly,
yeah.
I mean, it was a hoot. It was really, really funny. All I had to do was sort of sing songs and play with the kids in English. So
Yeah.
they loved singing songs, like they were from the age of 1 upwards, 1 to 3. And
Oh,
the ones that didn't have any sort of language, either French or English, would do all the
yeah.
actions to the songs, and all the other kids knew this every single song.
Wow. That's so special, you know, like music is like the key to learning, is what
Isn't
the
it?
studies have shown over and over again, that they've found the science to connect that.
Yeah, and movement as well, because I did a Coursera thing about that, about learning, and how if it means something to you emotionally, then you keep it in your head.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Which
I like that.
yeah, me too. So it has a connection, and there is that lovely thing that children sing before they can speak, and they dance before they
Yeah.
can walk.
Yeah, yeah, it's true. It's so sweet when you think about it.
Yeah,
And
and
somehow we lose all that. You know, a lot of people, I know, especially because I shoot like weddings, it's like, why are people dancing until they're drunk? Get on the
yeah.
dance floor.
But exactly. Why aren't we dancing straight away?
Yes, all the time we should be dancing.
Yeah, and
It's so good
playing.
for the
And
soul.
yeah,
Yes.
that's the thing. I don't know who said you had to sort of do it seriously. I don't mean that you can't be serious when, of course you can be serious about something, but you don't have to be serious,
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
joyless. I think that's what I'm thinking of.
Joyless. Yeah. We don't have to lose the play. You know, we
Yeah,
lose our childhood and we need to bring it back. That's what it's all about. Creativity and
exactly.
art and everything is reconnecting to that inner child. And that brings me to my next question. Why is creativity important? I mean, why do we need art? Why do we need to create?
Oh, I think to learn, breathe, to be
Hmm.
taken somewhere else, to be taken out of this sort of humdrum, mundane world that can sometimes feel a little bit gruesome. I think,
Yeah.
and not necessarily. I mean, it's not necessarily that either, but it's just another way of looking at things. Creativity can make you accepted in a different sort of way, so that it's not depressing. Because lots of art and plays and poetry and music, it is about the difficulties and the hardships of life. But I
Yeah.
think it's a way of expressing it that makes it bearable. And I
Hmm.
think if we didn't have creativity and all the accoutrements that come with it, I think we would stagnate and lie down and die,
Yeah. No, I
really.
think that we become really numb. It's all about feeling. It's all about discovery,
Yeah.
and that's like the key to doing that. Otherwise, we just get in that hamster wheel and we just
Yes.
become
Yes.
cold.
And there's nothing. And I think it does something funny with time, doesn't it?
Hmm.
Creativity. It
Yeah.
does fantastic acrobatics with time and
Yeah.
and space and things, and yeah.
How do you get into your flow states? Do you have certain things you do to get into a really hyper focused and like into your flow, or there's like certain
Yeah.
patterns?
I really believe in walking, or I mean, I'm really lucky. I live near the Bois de Vincennes. I live in
Hmm.
Montreuil, but I live near the Bois de Vincennes. And so
Yeah.
I can go very early in the morning and walk for an hour, sometimes 2 hours, or sometimes,
Wow.
half an hour. But that immediately, you get into a kind of mechanical thing, and it just lets your mind go free. And
Yeah.
also from time to time, I do the morning pages. Do you know that Julia Cameron book, which I
The artist's way.
yeah. And I think it's
I've
funny because
been,
I think the vocabulary and the expressions are very dated. They're quite
yeah.
funny.
That's like how to win friends and influence people. I love that book, but it's dated.
It's so dated, and I think she says so many funny things. I'm like, oh God, that's so cringy, that expression. But at the same time, the basis of the book is fantastic.
Yeah, no, I love that book.
Yeah, me too.
I'm so bad. I want to do my morning pages and I never do them. And like, I know it's so important. And all my friends who didn't even read the book, they're just into like vision boards and The Secret and all that. It's all the
Yeah,
same thing. It's like,
and
write it
I don't think you
down.
have to. I mean, what I do is I get I use it for when I don't feel clear. I think,
Yeah.
oh, I need a bit of a boost. I need a bit of a focus, and I'll do them, um, for 3 months or 2 months or a couple of weeks, just whatever it needs, and I'll
Yeah.
write them down, and then I'll read it, and then I'll tear it up because I
Yeah.
obviously
That's
don't want
smart.
anyone to read the sort of
Yeah. Yeah. It's about
bilge.
finding clarity. Yeah. Because they always say the answer's inside you. And
Yeah, and I
yeah.
think it is, and sometimes you need a prompt.
Yeah.
Or you
Yeah.
need,
It's true.
and sometimes I think you get inspiration. You think, oh, I know I should know, but I don't know.
So, my last question is for you. What advice do you have for people searching for their creative gifts?
Well, I think you got to take time and listen, and that's why things like um, meditation, whatever that might mean to you, whether it's walking or just sitting quietly and allowing thoughts, don't censor thoughts. I never do that. I'm too old. Blah, blah. All
Yeah,
those
yeah,
things that happen, just let it all, or write it down. Write down all the things that come to your head, and I think you know in your guts what you want and what you dream about,
mm,
and you know by feelings. And sometimes I think, even if you think you don't know, I think if you leave yourself open, put your hands, have confidence in life, and the people will show up that will suggest things to you or give
mhm.
you a chance to try things. And
It will help
yeah,
you.
yeah, and I really think that confidence in life and confidence in your feelings, and give your feelings loads and loads of space,
Yeah,
and all the stream of things in your head, give them space. That's why I think the morning pages are good, but you don't have to do that all the time. And I think just whatever it is, dancing, putting headphones on and dancing round the front room. I love doing
yeah.
that.
No, it's so true. It's just about connecting to yourself and making space.
Yeah, and for some people that can be very, it can be, it could be both things. It could be very physical, like a bit like letting off steam and then getting onto some kind of zone. And then it can be also pulling back in, or for some people it means, the loads of contact with other people that gives them energy and joy and connection and ideas. And then some people need to just spend time on their own and daydream a little bit,
Yeah.
and or doodle or draw a little bit or whatever it is, or play the piano, um, or listen to music. I think
Yeah.
all those things are super important, and I think we don't, millions of people that are busy working from 9 in the morning till 8 and commuting on the metro, and there's just no time in their lives for music, for
Hmm.
listening to music, or the radio. I love listening to the radio,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
and the people, the kind of people who are not as lucky as we are,
Hmm.
they just don't have the time or the space, or they've lost the sort of will to feed back into the well is empty,
Yeah.
that creativity well is all empty because they've never put anything back in.
Yeah, and it's sad. I think everyone, it's an important part of life. And as kids, we all do it. You don't have to see any kid not playing or doing something. So, like, it's there,
Or imagining something, or wanting to go to a lovely, colorful shop, or yes, let's do that. And instead of saying, oh no, I haven't got time. Oh no, it's going to take ages to get to the museum, and then there's going to be loads of people, and suddenly you don't want to see any art or something. And I think if that's the case, start closer. Start with the friends. Start with your friends who are photographers or friends who are artists, and But I think we just really need to take the time.
More than ever after this pandemic trauma.
Yeah, no, really, really.
And where can people connect with you online?
Well, I'm on Instagram.
I love that. I'm on Instagram.
And I'm on Facebook. I don't have a special page on Facebook, but I'm on Instagram, and it's just me as well. Otherwise, when people sort of want to know about me, I'll send my CV and photos and stuff.
I love it.
Yeah, I can be found on Instagram, Mia Leahy 207.
Perfect. Go follow her, guys. You gotta find out about her latest shows and what she's up to.
And follow Crystal Kenny as well in the creative life, La Vie Creative.
Thank you so much, Mia.
Well, thank you so much. Oh, wait, I'm losing you. Hello?
Oh, you cut off at the end. What'd you say?
Oh, hello. Can you hear me?
Oh, say it again. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Thank you so much, because what you've done is created this huge network and given people, joy and space. And, and thank you so much for coming to see the show as well. That was so important.
Of course. I love outdoor theater or any kind of theater, really, but that space is so special that you perform in. I'm like, oh, this is so nice. I love it. But we will definitely be in touch. I can't wait to see you on stage again. And thank you so much for giving your time and advice.
Oh, well, thank you so much.
Thanks so much for tuning in to La Vie Creative. You can find more information on MissParisPhoto.com. And if you enjoyed this show, please feel free to share and spread the word for all my creative guests. We have the power to help them to keep doing what they love. See you next time.